Hey guys, I am here with the guys from ANR Bad Publicity. We've got Hollis, we've got Jamieson.
Hey.
What is going on? We just got done with an 8-round Netrunner tournament. Everybody's exhausted. Let's talk about that. Can we talk about that?
I'm like the Rocky Balboa of Netrunner though, because I could have gone another like 3 rounds guaranteed.
You think that would have taken you to the top 16?
I was picking up steam at the end. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You said you were like little engineing that thing.
I was. I started off really slow, and then it was building and building, and the momentum was coming, and then it was like done. And I'm like, come on.
Hollis, what's your story? I know you were on Val DLR.
Yes. Oh man, it's so good, and like it's so bad. It's embarrassing how poorly I did with it being as good as it is. It's seriously a powerful deck that is like terrifying. It's so terrifying.
Do you know how many of them made it to the top 16? Any idea?
I have no idea. I'm gonna guess right now. I think like anywhere between 4 and 6, 4 to 6 made.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like replicating.
Well, it was number 3 for top runner IDs this year, right? We had Kate sitting at top as always. Noise.
Yeah.
Then Val, and I believe was it Andy Leela or
I think it was Andy. I think Andy still made it.
yeah. So then Andy and then Leela.
Yeah.
So you tell me Andy still made it in there? I thought nobody was playing Andy.
It's because she's consistent. So it doesn't matter what like criminal deck you're playing, whether it's like some weird variant or just classic, like data sucker security testing. The fact is, you draw 9 cards, you're probably not going to get a bad hand out of a mull, and just try to smash face with that. It's good enough.
Do you want consistency, or do you want to trade that off for Leela's power?
Yeah.
That's
the
kind
choice.
of the criminal setting right now.
Well, before we get any further, what are you guys? Tell me about ANR Bad Publicity, right? So, first of all, where can we find your stuff, and what is your stuff? What do you put out?
We are a alternative lifestyle. So ANR Bad Publicity is probably the spot where people are just going to come and have a good time and enjoy us on a weekly basis. We pride on doing our show a little differently.
Yeah,
than,
which I know.
As backers from day one.
It's
right?
incredible, man. I love it.
We try to think outside the box and provide some different content. We're trying to be the needle and not the haystack. Let people come in. Like you said, we do our show live, so we're trying to promote a lot of fan interaction. So when we're there, we're interacting with the chats. We're now doing an audio podcast because the demand for it was there. Not a lot of people can sit in front of their computer for that hour and a bit, and watch a YouTube video, right? Some people's lunch breaks are only so long, and productivity needs to be done. But we're just trying to break out of that mold that there's so many good up-and-coming podcasts and other Netrunner content out there that we felt enough people were doing data pack reviews. So we're just really trying to think of different things we can bring out. We've had a lot of requests from people, new players in the game, saying, how do we pilot the top deck? So we just did 2 breakdowns, a Kate and an NEH, for new players to learn, talk about what to look for in mulligans, piloting, playstyle, strategies, placement of cards, things like that.
So are you guys the reason that I saw nothing but Kate today?
No.
Thanks.
Wasn't my fault though. Just saying. I mean, but you can't put that on us, man. Kate's is always good. This is what she does. She's just good. She's good in the game.
Dude, so tell me about this the lineup change that we've seen, right? So you got Hollis now, who's I consider you an old friend. I'm not sure why exactly. We are friends.
Yes.
We've known each other for a while in the Netrunner community. But so you picked Hollis up. You've always kind of been the genesis of the ANR Bad Publicity show, Jamieson. Why the changes? What's been going on?
We just had a couple people that life caught up with them, and they just didn't have the outside dedication that you can put in week to week. Like, not a lot of people can relate to that. Like, I know you guys can, but I mean, it's a lot when you have life and you have actually playing the game, so you can talk about it online. You don't want to, take away from each piece of that pie.
Yeah.
But sometimes family and you have outside issues and factors that you got to kind of retire the jersey.
Yeah.
So we had a couple guys kind of step away from the game. Or a couple guys, go off and kind of, sprout their own stuff too. So
How's it been, Hollis? How's the show been?
Well, keep in mind, I came in from the perspective as like just a regular average Joe Netrunner player. So when I started playing the game, I hopped into every bit of content that I could. I was on ANR Bad Publicity. I was watching Team Covenant videos. I was listening to every single podcast that I could find on iTunes or in the Android market or whatever to just absorb as much content, because I wanted to not only play the game and be better, but I wanted to hear what other people at different levels and tiers of the game thought about the decks that are being commonly played or cards that were commonly played. And so I spent so much time playing the game and talking about the game to an immense amount with my friends. We got to the point where we thought about even launching our own podcast. The amount of work and commitment for that is just so large. It is so large. So effectively, the project kind of got scrapped, and then eventually I had time. After that went away, I had time available. So Jamieson hit me up. He was like, "Hey, I got an open slot. I need somebody on the show. Do you want to come on?"
Well, you were a reoccurring guest for a while.
Yeah, that too.
And then we just kind of made it official.
Yeah.
Locked him down. It's a different beast when you're presenting yourself on video.
Absolutely. Yeah,
it is. And
you gotta get into grooming, which Hollis has obviously taken up the challenge. Jameson's still, I think, a little bit questionable.
I'm behind.
But honestly, you've got the look that you have is so Jamieson right now. It's crazy. It's incredible. It's perfect. It's perfect.
And not to sell yourself short, but we just picked up a new guy, Miles. He's an Australian. And this guy's a number cruncher. So what he's doing for us is he scours the net and he does his own segment. We're doing like a power rankings and a tier list where he's looking at StimHack and old tournament data. He'll crunch the numbers for Worlds and kind of compiles it and tells like this is the tier 1 decks, this is the tier 2 decks, tier 3 decks. So, welcome Miles to the Bad Publicity family.
Well, so here's the question, right? You have, at the very tip top of Netrunner, you have a tiny, realistically, a tiny sliver of competitive players. And most of them are here today.
Right.
And then you have 95%, the rest of the Netrunner community out there who we're talking to now, that is just interested in maybe not necessarily how to play the most tweaked out greatest Kate deck, but maybe something new or something interesting. So where would you put you guys as far as what kind of an audience are you trying to hit? Are you trying to hit new players? Are you trying to hit like the middle ground? Are you trying to hit that super competitive player? Where are you guys?
I think we fluctuate most and we relish in the mid-tier. High players, they know their stuff.
Yeah.
They're not coming to anyone for advice. They're already doing their thoughts. You have players like Dargenio, who just doesn't need anybody to tell him what to do.
Right.
You got Timmy Wong, who's 2 steps usually ahead of everybody.
Yep. Turntable.
Yeah.
And test run in the wizard deck.
It's great.
It's
amazing.
It's incredible.
Totally ridiculous, unexpected, and amazing. Yeah.
Every time. How does he do it every single time?
Because you know what it is, I think?
Yeah, tell me.
When you look at like the cards in the game, you see that like things work like in like it does A, B, or C. And I think what separates really, really great players is they're able to look ahead and say, this little tiny like effect here is much more powerful in the grand scheme of the game. And you don't see it immediately. Like when you look at turntable, you're like, sure, I swap agendas. This may or may not be useful. But when you're looking at playing against like Fast Events, and you're going, all right, well, I score breaking news, I swap, I take your Astro with the counter. Good game. Those are the plays that though they're small, they're completely changing like the entire flow of the game. Where you were behind now, you're like way ahead, and they're now the corp's trying to catch up.
Absolutely.
And the best players see things like that, and they take advantage of it. They don't just assume. I guess I'll say they're actually willing to be more risky. You would think from like a common argument you'll hear is like from the casual perspective, they're willing to be more outgoing and try things competitive players wouldn't. And actually, I don't even think that's the case. I think the difference is that the really competitive players, they'll try things that are risky, but what they'll do is that the risk is calculated, and it's understood that the risk being taken is going to give a very great reward for very little you're giving away.
Absolutely.
Whereas a more casual player may say, sure, I would love to make this 7-card combo work, but if it's only working 10% of the time, is that worth doing?
Yeah. But how many? I mean, we got to think how many great And this is the thing that we were talking about earlier, right? How many great netrunner minds are not represented here at Worlds, and not even great players. But we're talking the first guy, who started the Val DLR idea.
Yeah.
It's just like a guy, and it's like, I'm interested in building a cool interaction here. And then it's like, it's not perfect, but it works. And then people catch on, and it's like, and then we start tweaking and whatnot.
Wildfire.
So there's a ton of people out there that, all of you guys out there that are watching, that's just like, man, there's still so much room to explore, I feel like, in this game.
Yeah, there's, and if you go back in a lot of our older episodes, I've really tried to promote people to try things out.
Yeah.
There's so much undiscovered country in your netrunner box under your bed that that hasn't been explored yet. Bad Publicity has always been on the side of don't let one person tell you this is a good deck and this is the deck you need to play.
Yeah.
You gotta find that out for yourself. Like, I'm not saying like do not play this, but figure something out, because you can be that guy that comes up with some crazy chameleon hyper thread.
I swear it's out there. It's all out there.
Well, you know who you can't sleep on is you talk to anybody. So this is
Adam.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm just saying.
I really think that Adam's really cool.
That's who you can't sleep on. But anyway, you were saying.
Worlds, I feel, has opened up for one of the first times in a long time where we're getting more and more people outside North America coming in, and you sit down with these the guys that are coming over from England, this group of I don't know, 12 or 15 guys, I forget the number.
In Ireland, I played a dude from Ireland, got fourth.
But these guys,
with Director Haas in his deck.
That's what these guys are coming over with a whole different meta, and they're just mind-blowingly good.
Yeah.
And it's not the regular cut of the jib kind of netrunner. It's like you said, like they're putting Director Haas in decks, and
everybody here missed it.
Yep.
Everybody here in North America, we missed it. We're not doing it.
No. Well, so what happens is that like someone will come out with a deck that's like very, very popular online, right? Like Kalimsha Kates, or or any prepaid Kate build or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like someone will have an online build.
looking for work wizard. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Looking for who made that.
L4J.
But like, everyone will copy it. And the thing is that once they copy it, they're like, all right, sure, this is good. I'm done exploring. I'll take this that's good, this that I know is good, I'll make tweaks, and this will still be good. I'll just change it a bit based on meta. The one thing that I think other players outside the US are doing is they're going, wow, so no one wants to try to do punitive with 5 clicks? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
And what's nuts is in the US we're going, that's silly, that's not gonna work. So think about like how this works in like the terms of the trickle down deck building mechanics. So we have the US who's kind of like frigid and stubborn, who we really don't experiment that often. There's very few people, yourself included, that actually go outside the box sometimes.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is you get a lot of the same deck archetypes. So then the entire US meta goes, oh well, I guess I only need to worry about these things because these are the most common things. And then someone from the UK, Australia, anywhere, they bring something totally different. And even though we've got a deck suited for the US meta, we're not prepared to deal with whatever the handcrafted thing you have is. Like, there's no way we could have predicted that we'd play what you have. There's no meta cards for it that we've really considered. And in a tournament like Worlds, where basically changes can be made last minute and they can make or break you, it's the best.
Like one card, one
Yeah.
or two cards.
Yeah.
And it's the tech that people are throwing into these decks, right? Like, sure, 20 people can show up with the same deck, but that one guy that's like, I've got something in my deck that's going to just blow people away, and then people aren't prepared because they've teched against it.
Yeah.
Like that one style, like it just needs to be explored a lot more.
Well, so tell me about the future of ANR Bad Publicity, since we are talking about exploring. What do you guys, over the next year, let's say, we're going to be back at Worlds next year. I hope that both of you guys will be here. I assume the plan is currently to do so.
The plan is to be here.
Yeah.
But I know you got twins, which is incredible. 3 months.
I'm a new dad. Reds the twins 3 months ago.
crazy.
Oh my god.
So what are you guys going to accomplish? What do you want to do for this Netrunner community? Anybody out there watching, so they can catch your stuff at the YouTube channel?
Yeah, Bad Publicity. What is it, like YouTube.com/Bad Publicity.
Nice.
We're on Twitter, Facebook.
We'll put the links up.
Appreciate that.
We've got people on it.
Your people?
Yeah, we got people. He's right behind the camera eating fries right there. So
your people's good people's.
Yeah, well, we love you guys. Everything that you stand for here in the Netrunner community. So tell me, as a viewer who's watching this, why should I tune in over the next year? What are you guys going to be up to?
Man, we got. I have so many gears turning right here. It's just putting
Hollis has gears too.
putting it down.
What I really want to do, I think, and what really makes me so enthusiastic about being on any cast and like doing these videos that we do, is bridging that gap. When I started the game, I was definitely a beginner, moved to intermediate, and then I wanted to be this higher tier player. And every day, every game that I play, and everyone that I talk to works me towards being that higher tier player. And the thing is, yeah, sure, higher tier players probably don't need to listen to our opinions and things like that. But intermediate players that are looking for that leg up to get there, it's perfect. And that's really that's the kind of concept we want to keep trying to provide. Is you don't quite get why this deck is so good, we're going to tell you why. And when you understand why, you're probably going to be that guy that makes the next Worlds deck that smashes everyone's face. And it's all because of these fundamentals. If you look at every single person that's good at Worlds here, they had to start somewhere. They weren't immediately good.
Yeah.
They were scrubs at some point. Right?
Yeah, like that Lucas Lee story, right? Like
Absolutely.
He got scrubbed out, and then next time he comes back and wins nationals, right? Because he was just
Right.
that dedicated.
Yeah.
And it's definitely possible. So not only you're providing that bridge, because the intermediate crowd, I mean, that's so many of us are in that crowd. I mean, it's just like, it's everybody probably watching this is in that crowd. So just providing content for them, making their Netrunner lives as good as possible, and kind of giving them even a pathway to start to explore some of those higher concepts.
Yeah, we just want to do something that's not being done out there, right? We used to, hang out on a live stream, and we're like, say someone from the chat throw something out. Oh, Theophilus Bagbiter. Let's build the Bagbiter deck. Let's build something with Record Reconstructor, and then test it. And then so people are then throwing ideas out, and it's just very interactive. And that's what we want to be. We want the relationship to be give and take, right?
Yeah.
Back and forth, and just have fun. Just know that there's a world out there that's not, those 2 or 3 top decks. Yeah. Right?
Well, man, I think that sounds great. Jamieson, thank you so much. Hollis, it's a pleasure. Good luck on your journey over the next year. This is ANR Bad Publicity. They are killing it, as always. And we got plenty more coming from Worlds, guys, so stay tuned. Got more coming. Weird outro. Sorry.